What is going on, good people? What's going on? We are back. We are back. Man, that is so I told y'all I wasn't gonna be here one of those, not last week, but the week before last. I told y'all I wasn't gonna be here. But yes, we are back. We are back. So if you are new to the live stream, new to the show, um, we are here aimingly to be here every week on Thursdays between 9 and 10 p.m., depending on how life rolls along. We definitely have an agenda that we typically go through, which starts off with a little bit of weather talk because weather drives what we do in the lawn. And also, we then jump into any applications and how things are going in the lawn and things that we've experienced throughout the week, and then we'll get into a topic of discussion if we have one, and then we also include a live Q&A session. So if you have questions about anything in your lawn, anything about how things are going, you got any questions, drop them over there in the chat. If they pertain to the topic that we're talking about, we'll go ahead and answer that question then, but we will work through all of the questions as we work through the live stream. So glad to have y'all here. Glad to be back. Before we jump into weather talk, the topic for today is going to be seeding, or not seeding, but grass seed. So we're going to start talking about grass seed, and that is a very important item right now. It is very important as we get ready to get into the fall time frame, because right now what we do coming up in the next 3 to 4 months is going to determine what our lawn looks like next year and what we're dealing with for our 2027 lawn. You've heard me talk about it. We're coming to the end of the fourth quarter of the 2026 lawn season, and come September, it starts the beginning of the 2027 lawn season. So what we do here in that September time frame, from September till the grass shuts down and we get all the way into winter, whatever timing that is, depending on your location, is going to be critical to how our lawn performs next spring and throughout the rest of next year. So don't get left behind. I preach this every year around this time, and every spring of the following year, people that I know that I discuss things about, and it was like, well, how do I get my lawn together? How do I get my lawn together? You really needed to start the prior fall, especially as we're talking about cool season lawns here. So right now we are going to get into another topic, just a brief announcement. So the reason I wasn't here the past 2 weeks, we did have our baby boy. So baby boy number two is here. He is healthy. He is growing. He is loving life of eat, sleep, pee, and poop. Like, and that is his cycle right now. So he was born Friday, July 31st, 2:03 a.m. So that on the 30th, that Thursday that I told y'all I wasn't gonna be here, yeah, that was a real big reason of around that period of time we were going through it. We were going through the process. But mom is healthy, baby is healthy. As you can see, we're back home. We were able to get out of there in just a couple of days. So yeah, we are. Everybody is happy, healthy, and good. So thanks for all the congrats. Thanks for all the wishes that everybody has sent. That kind of knew behind the scenes and all of that. But everything is going good. Just now adjusting to the double dad life right now, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I got a little time off from the 9 to 5 right now, so just soaking in the time to be able to spend with the family right now, and just making the most of it right now. So um, that's a little bit on the personal side there. Just some announcements. Well, that announcement right there, but. Uh, Outside of that, weather talk. We are on I wouldn't say a downward trend. We just came down off of the extreme heat that we had before. Like we was cooking before. Right now, I would say that we are kind of normal temperatures, right around this period of time. We are mid 80s, some upper 80s sprinkled in there. A little cooler. Normally we're in the mid to upper 80s consistently, but I think today was 84 or something like that. But it is one of those things that the temperature and the daylight duration, I can see that the days are starting to get a little shorter. Just slightly, I'm starting to notice that the daylight is getting shorter, which is one of the first signs that fall is on the way. When the days start to get shorter, that's one of the things that's going to start to trigger a lot of things out in the lawn and nature to start happening, right? The days start to get shorter, leaves start to fall off the trees, things start to slow down their growth, and things start to really start to change, which is going to mean that soil temperatures are going to start to fall. But I will say, even though we're starting to see those initial signs, I don't think it's go time yet for dropping seed. I was outside today, dropped my son off at school and got back home, and I was hearing sounds. I was like, man, that sounds like an aerator. Like, it's crazy that I can hear this. Like, I heard the sound and I was like, man, that sounds like an aerator. Like, they can't be aerating right now. And I looked down the corner, looked down the street, and no kidding, there was a lawn care company out there. It's a big commercial company. They were out doing aeration and seeding. Outdoor aeration and seeding. I know they're a big company. They're a big company, so I get it. They're probably having to get started early, but it is not the optimal time right now for these customers that are going to be getting seed and stuff put on the ground right now. I do think that we're probably going to have another stretch of hot weather. It's not over yet. We're mid-August right now, early part of mid-August. Typically when I'm out there seeding in Labor Day, mid-September, for some reason in September, the water just shuts off and it gets warm, a fair bit warm. I've been out there at times seeding mid to late September and it's still 90 degrees out there. So those are, right now, I just think it's too early. We need to start getting prepared. We need to start getting ready. I think typically I target that depending on your location, right? So depending on where you are, further north, you're probably closer to that seeding time. Further south you go, you've got a little bit more time before it's time for you to get that seed down, for you to get towards that optimal range. I think here in the Maryland DMV area, I think we're about 3 to 4 weeks off, like away from it. Probably 3 to 4 weeks, weather dependent, right? I think you at the earliest you probably can start targeting like Labor Day weekend. That's normally like my target is like Labor Day weekend, being ready to go like around that Labor Day weekend or the following weekend after that. If I see a weather pattern that says something different, that I'll kind of gauge it as I start to get a little closer to that time period. So I think right now is a little bit too early, depending on where you are. The further north you are, it may be time for you to, it may be closer, like you're far north, you may be a week or so out from being able to do that. But I think down here, lower in the transition zone, it's not quite time for us to go just yet. Not quite time to go. But you should be getting ready. You should be getting prepared. If you're doing a full renovation, you should be in the throes of your full renovation. You should have at least sprayed it out once by this point. And be working on your second spray here in the next couple of weeks. And if you're going 3 rounds like I typically do, and then having your third round about a week or so before your seeding and ground prep date. So I've got videos on my channel to do like how to do full renovations and things like that. It take you step by step through that process. So that's a little bit on the weather talk. We're on a cooling trend right now. Not a whole lot, but we don't have a lot of rain in sight. Maybe you're supposed to get some rain around Sunday-ish, Monday time frame. But we don't have a whole lot of rain in sight. Again, I think Friday or Saturday, I think it's supposed to be like 90 or something like that. I, I just don't think that it's the right time to be seeding this early. But overall, weather wise, we had a lot of rain. Like over the past 2 weeks that I haven't been here, we've had a lot. We've had them in downpours. Disease pressure is high right now. Man, disease pressure is high. I'm just starting to see some areas and stuff in my lawn. Got some brown patch popping up. Got a little pythium. I'm trying to hold at bay. So it is fourth quarter weather, and I say it and I say it all the time. Like this is the point where it gets tough. Like you're just trying to make it to the finish line, and you're trying to get there, and your lawn is just trying to hold on, and it just looks tired. It like the lawn just looks tired, like it's been battling, and it's like, give me some relief. Like I just need some relief. And we were getting good rain, and then that good rain turned into too much rain. I know at one point we got like 3 inches of rain in like 2 days, like 2.5 days, and it was downpour, like just downpour, inch and a half. Boom, here you go. And on top of that, it then was fairly warm, upper 80s, 90s, and the humidity was through the roof. When I say humidity was through the roof, humidity has been rough lately. It's like you just walk outside and you move around a little bit outside and you're already drenched. Like you are already drenched. So disease pressure is high right now. My last application, as we get ready to talk about applications, was a fungicide. So I went down with methanoxam at full rate, and I went down at full rate for Armada. So that's a group 4, I think. I think methanoxam is a group 4, I believe. And then a group 3 and a group, no, it's not 4, it's something else. A group 3 and group 11. So Armada is a double combo. It actually has a couple of different, it has a conosol in it and a strobilurin in it. So you got 2 different groups there plus the methanoxam. And then I added in 1/10 of a pound of AMS just to give the lawn a little bit of food, just to keep holding on, just to get it to keep holding on. Didn't want to push it too much, but it needed a little bit of food. It needs some more food also with all the rain that we've had. It needs some more food, and I can just tell the color is off. Like the color is fading. Like we've just had so much rain here over the past 2 weeks. It's like what I like to call water drunk. Like it is certain areas is of course I've got all the shade back there, so certain areas is just trying to dry out. Then you got my full sun areas that's already drying out. I actually got to put a little water on the full sun areas tomorrow, because I'm trying to let the shady areas dry out because they have enough water from all the rain. So those are like some of the things just to balance, right? So stay up on your fungicides for sure. My last application was a fungicide. Give it a little bit of food. I don't need to push it a whole lot right now because as we get ready to get into September, once we do that, if you're planning to do aerations and your seeding and your fall repairs and all of that stuff, we're going to get some good food down and make sure we get it fed as the temperatures and also the conditions overall get in a better position to be able to have some good growth and support good growth with some fertilization. So yeah, man, the disease pressure out there is crazy. Like it's rough out there right now. It's rough. And I knew it was going to come because I could see it. I could feel it. I knew it was coming. I put a fungicide down before baby boy was born because I saw it coming. I think I went down like that Wednesday. I think I got my fungicide down like that Wednesday, and it's been about 14 days, and I went down with my next round of fungicide because it's just been so humid and moist, and it just feels like disease pressure outside is what it feels like. So I just want to stress that to y'all right now. Make sure you're staying up on your fungicides right now. I know we're close, but you got to protect what you have right now. Protect what you've got. All right. So that covered those two topics. We're going to get in, and before I actually start talking about the topic for tonight, I'm going to go ahead and answer some of the questions. It seems like y'all have dropped a couple of questions in over here. Low 80s a day. Yep. Yeah. He said my poor lawns ready to tap out. Lawns are they're hanging on. Like they're hanging on the best they can. And there are some of them that has already thrown in. They're waving the white flag. Like they've either thrown in the towel or waving the white flag, however you want to put it. But they're like, I'm done. I'm done. Really considering throwing a bit of KBG in my fescue. Ain't nothing wrong with it. That's why I use a 90-10 blend. That's why I go for it. I like to be able to have some self repairing capability in there. And then most of the time that bluegrass gives you a good color, it gives you a good texture on the foot. It's like it knits all of it together and gives you a really nice feel, where the lawn just feels like it's really dense and it just feels carpet like, especially if you've got a moderate height of cut, as in like 2.25, 2.5, something like that. It gives you a really tight, dense carpet like look and feel. Yep, wanted to get some of that self repairing. Yep, me too. But KBG more watering overall. I mean, not if you can treat it the same, especially if you're majority KBG or majority fescue and you just add in some Kentucky bluegrass. That bluegrass, it'll, when the conditions aren't favorable for that bluegrass, it'll kind of pull back, and then your fescue will lead the show. And then when it cools down and is good conditions for that Kentucky bluegrass to thrive, like that's why I like having a mix. You allow, when the conditions are right, the stronger cultivar or the cultivar that favors or performs better in those conditions are going to thrive. And Pete says it all the time on his too. Like when he had his blend, he doesn't treat them any different. Like I've been doing it for years. I don't treat, just if I got a 90-10 blend, if I got full fescue, or if I got a 90-10 blend with some KBG in there, I don't really treat them any differently. It's they'll be fine with that. That KBG is, like I said, if the conditions aren't favorable for it, it'll kind of pull back. It won't perform its best. It'll just kind of be there into the canopy, and your fescue will take the lead role. And especially like spring and fall times, when conditions are favorable for that KBG, it's going to be growing and thriving and repairing and doing what it does. So I wouldn't worry too much about it if you've got a mix. If you are 100% KBG, that's a different story. If you're 100% KBG, different story. You may have to water that more than you would a fescue or a 90-10 fescue to KBG blend. So yeah, I agree. If you're 100% KBG, yes. But if you're using a mix, I wouldn't say that you got to treat them any differently. From my experience and some other people's experience, that they've kind of said the same thing. What's going on, lawn mechanic? Good to see you in here. What's happening? all the congrats and stuff on the family. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a fun journey. Yeah, I can tell this is gonna be a journey. This is gonna be a journey for sure. Yeah, lawn mechanic said he's got about 2 more weeks and then it's go time for him. All right. Yeah, I think you're in Ohio. Lawn mechanic, I think you're in Ohio, I believe. Spider 2GL and Moon Tall Fescue. I haven't heard of that other fescue. I don't know. I haven't heard of that other one. With the name of it, it sounds like something that's saying that it's rhizonomous, maybe. I've been just kind of looking at the name of it. Says that it's A list. Says it is for it's A list approved. Okay, this is okay. It's coming from DLF. Got it. I haven't looked. I haven't looked at that one yet. When we go through, let me see. Let me see DLF. Boom, 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 boom. All right, it is not listed. So this is going to be one of the topics that we're going to talk through today. So I actually went over and I just looked at the list just to see if it was named and listed here, which it may be, but it may be under a code. All right, so we'll jump in and we'll talk about that list. I'm not familiar with that particular tall fescue, the Ryza Moon. So I can't compare it. As far as Spider is a top performer right now of the seed that is commercially available and on the market. It is one of the top performers, which is one of the reasons that I like keeping it in my blend, and I want to make sure that I think it may have a permanent position in my blend. So I may be solidifying the 3 fescue cultivars that I want to keep in my blend, as I've been kind of looking through some recent data, and we'll get into it and talk about that one. Doom doom doom. Soil tips in Tennessee is 88, and it'll be triple digit air temps this weekend. Yeah, it's rough. Sheesh. Yeah. In the Midwest sees the stripes. Okay, you did yours Labor Day weekend, worked out great. You never know when you get a heat wave. Yeah, you don't. I mean, like I said, I always kind of like target Labor Day weekend and then watch the weather. Like this is like I'm gonna target Labor Day either the first or second weekend in September and watch the weather. Because I've been out there so many times like seeding, and it is freaking 90 something degrees out there, and like no water in sight, and it'd be the end of September, and it's like I gotta get seed on the ground at this point. Like it was end of September, 1st of October, and it was and it was like still hot and dry. So yeah, man, especially if you're non-irrigated and things like that, you got to look at the weather. You got to pay attention to the weather to be able to have some sort of success. All right. Nah, did really well. Yep. Depending on your location. Yeah, I know people in like North Carolina that'll be seeding all the way through October. Depending on your locations and what your climate and everything's gonna be. So yeah, you can definitely it definitely can be done. And it's the problem with that is the later you wait, It's just, will the seed get a chance to mature, or will you get hit with a frost or freeze that's really gonna wipe it out? Your first, like, having a little light frost on it, long as it's up and growing, having a little light frost on it once or twice isn't gonna kill it. But if you get a hard freeze, like the later on you get in the year, it just gets a little sketchy. It gets a little sketchy. Not to say that it can't be done. It's just another one of those factors that you're just rolling the dice with. Boom, boom. Is it safe to apply propaganazole during granular during when it is be? Nope. Well, would it affect? So, good questions. I've actually talked about this in a video before. I typically apply propaganazole during my time of seeding or overseeding. Yes, because all of the water and that you're going to do to get the new seed up, I want to have some protection there for the existing grass from a disease pressure standpoint. So, yes, you can apply propaganazole during the time of overseeding. The PGR effects of propaganazole will still have its same effect on the existing grass. Not so much on the grass that is going to be coming up, because it has to get taken up into the plant. Like, so it has to get absorbed into the plant, right? So you may have a little bit of coverage by the time it gets up and going and gets a root in the ground. You're probably going to be on the back end of your coverage for your propaganazole application, right? So you may get high disease pressure time with all the watering and stuff that you're going to be doing to get seed up. And if you're talking KBG is really going to get growing. It may germinate within that first week, but it's really not going to get really growing until probably that 14 to 21 days. And you'll kind of start to see it really starting to grow 21 and a little past that 21-day period. So you'll kind of be on the back end of your coverage for your fungicide. So I would say go for it. Yep. There is some evidence out there that says that prop actually aids in germination. How much? There's evidence that says that it supports that it'll, you can see some improved germination there. Still had a treat for brown patch even after preventive. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm seeing brown patch in the lawn right now. Haven't seen it all season until now. I was walking through it today, and I was like, my goodness, man, here comes brown patch. Like, I've got brown patch in the yard right now as we speak. So I sprayed it the other day, and hopefully I can just hold it at bay. All right. And David says still thinking switching from fescue to warm season. Yeah. Yeah. Franklin, I think I've answered your question already. I'm targeting Labor Day, probably going to be the following week, like that second week or so. Yep, DLF does make good seed. Yep, they've got some good seed over there. Avenger 3, Firecracker, GLS, Titanium, LS, Ryan Noor, Triad Traverse, Fourth Millennium, Titanium 2, LS. Yep. Some all good. Nothing wrong with those cultivars. You got a whole bunch of Mountain View seed cultivars in there though. That's a good thing. I'm always good to see that. Avenger in Mountain View seed, Firecracker Mountain View seed, Titanium Mountain View seed, the titanium 2LS, GLS, and 2LS titaniums. Both of the titaniums are Mountain View seed. Fourth Millennium's good, is a good seed, and good cultivar rather. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, yeah. So you got some good seed cultivars in there. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the topic. We've made it to the bottom of the questions thus far. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the topic for today, which I'm pretty sure while y'all are hanging around. Those of y'all that are here, the 27 of y'all that are here, I appreciate it. Now let's jump into it and talk about seed. So if you want to know from a data-driven, strictly data, right? Just looking at the data, looking at what has been reported, looking at how things are performing with all the cultivars. And this is, you also got to take this with, not every seed cultivar is placed into this evaluation. Most of the ones that want to be well known and recognized and all of that, they're going to put them into this trial. And this evaluation, which is called the NTEP trials. The NTEP trials is where they evaluate all the criteria, or I'll say a number of criteria of the performance of grass seed. Most of the big manufacturers and producers and all of that, they want to be compared and see where they stack up and be able to have the data to support. Yes, I've got brown patch resistance, gray leaf spot resistance. If you compare my cultivar versus, say, Mountain View seed versus DLF, like you can see how things rack and stack and how different cultivars perform. And this information is really available for the consumer to go out and find it and look at it, right? We all have questions of what's the best seed. You want to go buy the best seed. You want to have the best performance and all of that. And here's the data that's out there that's available that you can go look at. All right. So we are going to go ahead and just kind of go into this and get started. And let me grab this, move this over here. Still wanting to see the chat. In case if y'all pop any questions in there, let me adjust that. And then we are going to jump in over here. All right. So this is the trial. This is the NTEP trials. I'm right here on the website. So here's the website that you can go to. I'll actually copy and just go ahead and drop this into the chat. So that is there. Here's the website to get to the NTEP, National Turfgrass Evaluation Program. You'll hear it called NTEP. They started this in 2024. This trial started in 2024. So this is the data that is being reported from 2025, which was the last year's evaluation and data that we're going to be discussing and looking at the data. So they call it a progress report. They do this over a couple of years, and they'll continue to put out the progress reports and things and how they're performing. So we can start off right now. These are the seed companies and cultivars. So you'll see the entry number over here. You'll see the name of the cultivar of that grass seed. We're talking all fescue here. And then you'll see the sponsor, or typically it's the manufacturer or producer. So you'll see DLF. So when that question came up, I went and I was able to, I Googled the cultivar name and I saw that it was DLF. And then in the background, what I was doing is I was looking at DLF. That seed may be one of these numbers. So they put them under, sometimes they're under codes. That seed, I would say, is probably not one of these. And the reason I say that is because only the seeds that have this little asterisk beside them are available on the commercial market. So you can see that we have 108 entries into the 2024 NTEP trials. 108 entries. There's only 32 of these 108 entries that you can actually go buy that are commercially available on the market, either in the US or somewhere. There's only 32 of these 108 entries, right? So there's a lot of, all of these can be new things. They could be new cultivars. They could be new blends and things that are coming out. But it looks like DLF has a lot. They're working on some stuff. And then there's also some other ones that I've looked that are ranked pretty good, and we'll get into the data and show it and be like, yeah, there's good data that these are performing well. They're just not available for purchase yet, which means they probably haven't gotten into mass production. This is like a new breed, new cultivar that they've entered into the trials. So that's one of the things that you can come look at this data. If you're ever interested in, hey, you see a seed blend or mix that you're interested in, you can come here to the NTEP trials and see if it's in the recent one, or you can go back a couple of years. They also have like some older data in here that you can go back some years. See, like they got the 2020 bent grass, they got the 2022 perennial ryegrass, they got fescue back to 2018, some 2022 testing. Like, so you can go back and look at some of the older testing and see if you can find those cultivars on the list and on the trial and see how they performed. Most of the quality cultivars, they want them in the NTEP trial. They want NTEP trials so that they can have the data to support, hey, this is how my seed performs under these different conditions. So the kind of set the groundwork. So again, only 32 of these 108 can you actually go buy right now that are in the 2024 trials that we're going to be talking about. And I would like to focus your attention to here, which are all the Mountain View seed ones here that are available right now. Spider 3 LS, Vulcanary 2 LS, Dynamite, Raptor 4, Supersonic, Firecracker, and they have a new one that they're working on. I got to go ask about that one because I want to know what this one is. I think I know what it is. But I want to know what this one is. I want to know what's the status on that one. So I might have to try and use some inside sources to see if I can figure out and get some more information on that one. But all of these Mountain View seed cultivars here are available and ready for you to purchase. So you've heard me talking about new kids on the block and their performance and all of that. So there are some new ones that performed really well that people have been talking about that are in a lot of the newer blends that are out there right now, which is Xanadu. Xanadu is one of them from Barenbrug. Bonfire is another one from Barenbrug that has performed well. And then in certain locations. And then I think, what was the other one? Bonfire, Xanadu, and Daybreak. Daybreak is another one right here. So those are three of the new kids on the blocks that kind of performed really well, that have kind of made a name for themselves recently and have been started to be included in a lot of the newer seed mixes and blends that are out there. So then they've got different locations, right? You don't want just this data to come from one location or one region. So here you've got Connecticut, Georgia, Iowa, Indiana, Kansas City. It's probably Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, North Carolina down here, New England, New Jersey. Like back in my neck of the woods right here in our area with the Maryland, New Jersey, I think Jersey's got 3 locations. Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, we get a little south action down here. VA's got 2 locations. Some locations in Georgia. So these are all the different locations. And then they also provide the data of, hey, during these months, this is the data that they reported out on. As you can see in some of the northern locations and things like that, most of them really wasn't reporting very much through like the the January, February, and December and January, February time frame. It probably was either under snow or wasn't a whole lot going on. So they kind of give, hey, this is what they reported out on in what months, and then kind of covering some of the same information here. Here's what they actually collected: seedling vigor if they were planting, spring density, summer density, fall density, percent cover, spring, summer, and fall, winter color, disease resistance and stuff through here. How much disease pressure did they see in it? And then as we get in, this is all the data that's out there. So this one here kind of is pretty interesting in to me. And this is one, like when I was coming up with my seed blend previously, this is one of the things that I looked at, right? This is pretty good for my region here in the DMV, kind of in our area here, right? You got 2 New Jersey locations, Indiana, Minnesota, VA, and you got Maryland location. Maryland location is at College Park. So of the seed that is available for, so these are some new things that are out there on the market, right? They performed really well, but they are not available yet on the market. See, like this 505 one here, that code I think is from Integra. I think is the one, Brandbrug. So Brandbrug's got it one here that hasn't been released yet, but it's the front runner. Like right now, it is the front runner in the performance in this region, right? Of this group of states that they've got here. So Brandbrug's got the front runner with that one in this turf quality rating. So this is the overall turf grass quality rating. And they do it in different groups, right? They group some of the states and all of that stuff together, and make sure that it was like, hey, based on this region, these group of states, this is the mean of the performance of the score. But when you come down to what is readily available that you can actually go buy, the first cultivar that you can go buy in these regions right here, Spider 3 LS, Valkyrie 2 LS, and Firecracker. 3 Mountain View seed cultivars right at the top of that performance that you can actually go buy. So looking at performance overall, turfgrass quality rating right here on a score from 1 to 9, 9 being the ideal turf, you come in right now that you can go buy is going to be a score of 6.6. And it is the Spider 3 LS, and all the Mountain View seed cultivars, they all perform basically the same, that are here at the top in this region. So here are 3 cultivars here that I am leaning towards making sure that and I've had these, all 3 of these cultivars here have been in the Elm Street Elite blend. What I'm leaning to keeping as my permanent is having Spider, Valkyrie, and Titanium GLS. Titanium GLS, I've seen it so much in person, and then when I saw it out at the field trials out in Oregon, it comes up quick. The color, it's like a jack of all trades. That Titanium GLS, like I've seen it solo as a cultivar on its own and performance, and I've also noticed when I had a mix that had some other cultivars in there and it didn't have the Titanium in there, It just didn't come up as quick. It didn't fill in as quick. And I feel like those were the features that you get with that titanium. It establishes quick, seedling germination and vigor is high, and it just overall performs well. So my blend, one of the things that I want to, and I'm working with Newsom on that now, is titanium will be a staple, the fescue cultivar that will be in there. And I'm thinking of locking in Spider and Vulcanry as my other two fescue blends, and that is going to stay the Elm Street Elite blend. So I got to go talk to them about that, and see what we can do about it, what kind of quantities of things that do of what they have on hand, for us to be able to do that. But I'm going to have that discussion. I would like to have Spider, Vulcanry, and Titanium GLS as the three cultivars that will be in Elm Street Elite. Um, Nothing wrong with any of the other cultivars. As you can see, if you get some with Firecracker, Firecracker's right there with it. Like, that's been in the Elm Street Elite blend before also. So nothing, nothing, nothing wrong with any of these, right? In these regions and around here. As we go down a little bit further, the next one that you can go buy is going to be Valiant, is another one. Torino is another one here in this region. And then you get another Mountain View seed cultivar, two more Mountain View seed cultivars with Raptor and Dynamite. So in this region, right, I just wanted to remember, we're talking this region of states. As we scroll down further, where does Xanadu stack up? Where does the other new kids on the block stack up? Well, here is Xanadu here with the 6.0 versus the 6.6 that you found from the Mountain View seed cultivars. Here's Daybreak with a 6.0, and Bonfire is here with a 5.6. So again, my thing here is region matters, right? Certain seed will perform better in certain regions and in certain areas, which is why, like, the reason I chose some of the cultivars that I have in my Elm Street Elite blend now is because of the regional performance and how it performs there. And I've scrolled through the data, I've read through all of this data and compared some things. If you get further south, Bonfire, Xanadu, and Daybreak performs better in those southern conditions. Not too far ahead of like the other Mountain View seed cultivars and things that you can go buy. But what you find is, like, they do perform better in those hotter, drier climates. So that's one of the things that you can start to see when they start to put all of this data in front of you, is like, oh, well, if I'm in this region, let me go look at the data to see how things performed. And the numbers are like right here, so that you can make an educated decision on, hey, this is what I want to go with, and this is why I should go with them. So I think there's a next one. I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer, but I'm going to go down. There's another one that has 12 different states, 12 different entries that they included. Dum, dum, dum. And then again, like, they've got turfgrass quality ratings for a lot of, like, using different schedules and how things were maintained, and a lot of different type of information that's out there. So this one, and this is the other one that I wanted to show. Boom. So here we go. Of what is available, comparing these, this has got Connecticut, Georgia, Kansas, 2 Kansas locations, North Carolina, New England, 2 Jersey locations, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, and Tennessee that is included in here. As we get down, one of the top ones out of all of these different states, the top of the top is at a 6.7. You can't go purchase any of these yet. But what's the first one that you get to that you can go purchase that ties with the top score across 12 different locations, maintained, grown at 12 different locations in the US? Valkyrie 2 LS, 6.7. So, and this covers, you got some south here with North Carolina down there, how it performs. Tennessee, hot and dry there. That can be hot and dry there. Same can be there in New Orleans or North Carolina, back in my home state. And you've also got Georgia in there. Another one right there. So those climates can be hot and dry. Performed pretty well down there in Georgia. Look at that, 6.7, or 7.7 here down in Georgia. That's pretty good. Didn't perform too well in North Carolina. Looking at that, and again, this is single year rating. So didn't perform too well here in North Carolina, but also looking at the overall scores here, just compared North Carolina, they must be pretty tough on their on their scoring, on their rating, because they just seem to be like a magnitude off of everybody else. But even the top performer there was at a 5.2, and then you get the Valkyrie that's at a 4.5. So and then Spider comes in here. This is another one that you can actually go purchase. It's probably the next one. So it's probably a 1, 2, 3, and there's Torino. I know you can go buy that one. So Mountain View Seed, again, even out of all of these locations, a lot of their cultivars that you can actually go buy are ranked up at the top in those locations. So you can go through a lot of this data. I just wanted to point out a couple of things to you and just provide this information to you when you're out trying to figure out what seed you want to go buy, right? What seed do you want to get? The data is available to help drive you into that decision, using a data-driven decision and not just going by what somebody told you or what you saw somebody had in their lawn that may not even be in the same climate or region that you're in, and the grass may perform differently. Here's Rebel. I just happened to see that. That's a big box store brand. I got at a 5.6 down there. So just wanted to give y'all this information just to let you know that it is out there. It is available. And you have the ability to be able to go look at it. You can figure out what you really need to go get and what seed you should really go purchase. So you can see they've got more data on different locations and how they group them together. And you can see here on this one, oh no, that's the continued page. Where's the first page of it? So here's the top of the list. Maintained at 5 locations in the US: Indiana, Maryland, Minnesota, Missouri. I think MS is Missouri, and VA. So that's transition zone. This is a transition zone area. Torino up here at the top. This is that Bambra. No, it was 505. There's another new one coming to the market. Torino, you can go get that one. That's one that's available at a 6.0 mean score. And then Spider right there behind it. Valkyrie right there behind it. 6.0 and 5.9. Firecracker right there on its heels with a 5.8. So it's available. Like the seed is out there. The seed is out there. The data is available to help guide you into that best decision for you to be able to go make. And yeah, that was the topic that I wanted to talk to you talk to you all about tonight and provide this resource and the information, right? So Elm Street Elite is out there. It is available. We are continuing to mix and blend. We are waiting on the 2026 fresh crop to come in. Uh, it has not came in yet. It may be in by now. I'm gonna go double check. It was either supposed to get here this week or next week, to be able to have the fresh 2026 seed crop that is coming in, and then you can get it. So again, I'm looking towards having the discussion to lock in to have the fescue blends be titanium GLS, to be able to have titanium GLS, Spider, and Valkyrie to be the locked in tall fescue cultivars that'll be in there. The KBG cultivars will stay the same, which will be Blue Note, Legend, and Bolt. So those will be the cultivars that'll be in there from a KBG perspective. If you are interested in the Elm Street Elite grass seed, you can purchase that. Information is down in the description of all of my videos and stuff. We are working on a online purchasing option. I am working on that in the background, so that may be coming soon, but I would not wait on that. I would go ahead and make your orders, put your orders in. You can reach out to Newsome Seed. The phone number and information and stuff is down there in the descriptions of the video. You can also shoot Christina email. She is great. She has had great response time to everybody that has placed those orders. And I, again, appreciate you all for supporting and making sure that I provide a quality product to you, right? So this is the data and the things that came behind why the seed blend came up the way that it did. Sometimes it changes based on quantity of seed and stuff that they have available. Sometimes we may have to swap something out or swap something new in just because we may not have enough seed available, especially as we get further into the season. I'm a small fish in the big pond of like other people that's buying and seeding when it comes to like the golf courses and all of that stuff. Like they buy and purchase way more seed than I do. But hey, y'all can continue to buy as much as you want. Maybe I can become a medium-sized fish in the, in the big pond. But either way, I appreciate y'all's support. A lot of people have said they have bought the seed. They have been happy with the seed. It has performed well. And I just, again, appreciate y'all's support again as we get into this for the second full season of having the Elm Street Elite seed available. And it's performed well for me. And looking at the results and things that people have been getting, it has performed well for them also. So take a look at it if you're interested in it. And yeah, this is the data and stuff that comes behind why I chose the seed blends that I did and how those cultivars stack up to a lot of the newer stuff that's out there that was entered into this 2024 NTEP trial. And again, there's a lot of stuff out there that's on the way that I'm also excited about. There's a lot of that's a lot of cultivars out there that are performing well in that NTEP trial, but they're just not they're not ready for market yet. They're not on the market yet. So we'd had to see if they ever come to market. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they perform well, but then they don't produce well, right? So they don't produce enough seed to really bring it to market to be able to support the demand. So it may perform well, but if they can't grow it and produce enough seed, then it still doesn't make it to the market. So that's all I've got on the seed. I'm gonna go over here and check and see if we've got any questions or anything in the chat. Boom, boom, boom. Toastmaster, yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was looking at your comment, Ricky. Look like some newer versions of some MVS. Now you have to renovate. Had to renovate again. Nah. Yeah, they've got some new stuff out there, like the Raptor 4. Raptor 4 is out there. They've also got Stealth. Stealth is one that's supposed to be more drought tolerant. I got to go look at the data on that one. Stealth is another cultivar that's out there from Mountain View Seed. What is it? Spider, the Raptor 4 Spider. I think they're coming out with a new one. I think they're on Spider 3, maybe. I think that was the one that was on the trial, on this trial. So they've got a couple new cultivars, and it seems like they've got one that I got to go ask about that's on this trial. Boom, boom. What would I recommend for a northern climate? Northern climate, you can get away with just about anything. You can even get away with some of the stuff that like perennial ryegrass. Like you can go the farther north you are, you can actually introduce some perennial rye because it should perform a lot better during that summertime because you don't get quite as hot. But yeah, you could go with just about anything. I would also look at are you full sun or are you irrigated? I was looking at some of those other factors, right? So if you're non-irrigated, I probably may stay away from some of the ryegrass. Uh, Depending on northern climate, how far north you're talking. Um, but if you're irrigated and you're in one of those northern climates, I'd probably introduce some ryegrass because that ryegrass has amazing color, amazing stripeability. So I'd probably make sure it'd probably be a three-way blend if I was in a northern climate. It'd probably be rye, KBG, and fescue is probably what I would go with. And knowing me, the way that I rock with Mountain View Seed, it'd be Mountain View Seed cultivars of those three. So it'd probably be perennial rye, percentage of perennial rye, KBG, and tall fescue. When you power rate. Yes, you do. So when you pull all that material up, the goal is when you pull that material up is that you're trying to make sure you get seed to soil contact. So when you get all of that material and debris up, you need to get that off of the lawn. Whether you blow it, bag it up with your mower, whatever the case may be, you need to get that material and debris up off of the lawn. So now you've opened up that canopy, you've exposed and you've made a pathway for the seed to actually be able to get down to the soil and then be able to germinate and establish in the soil, and it's not sitting on top of that debris. So yeah, power when you power rake, that's the objective right there, is to open that canopy up so you can get good seed to soil contact, even during an overseeding. Elm Street Elite just purchased 350-pound bags. Appreciate that, Franklin. Appreciate that. Boom. Excuse me. Any more information about the app for ET? Not yet. Not yet. I've reached out. I haven't got confirmation yet. So that'll be coming. I'm ready. I want to talk about that one too. So I haven't got confirmation on that one yet. Excuse me. I have not got confirmation on that one yet. Yeah. So if you've got seed from last year, man, I don't know where the sneezes came from right now. Um, but yeah, if you're thinking of overseeding at the beginning of September, Sounds like good timing. Got seed from last year. Should be fine. Should be fine to go ahead and use it. If you do have to get new seed, or if you got a new batch, or if you had to go buy some more, yeah, just mix it together. It'll be seed from last year. As long as you stored it properly and it's not moist, it'll be just fine. 1 year old, I've used seed that's up to 4 or 5 years old, and it still germinated, came up, grew in fine, performed fine. So yeah, it'll be just fine. If you've got some new seed that you had to get also because you needed some more, you can just mix all that together and just go ahead and put it out. Yep, you'll be all good. No issues there. Jack, all right, cool. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, ma'am. Thank you. It's just natural for me. I don't know why. It's just thank you, sir. Always just comes out. If your name is Jack Culp, I would assume, yeah. Either way, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so that gets us to the end of the questions, end of the live. I appreciate it. Again, also fertilizer. If you are interested in fertilizer, Phoenix is also available. Phoenix is a great fertilizer for the fall. That is what I will be getting my pounds on the ground with this fall, is going to be Phoenix. After I get done with my spot seeding, because I already know I'm going to have to do some spot seeding, I get those spot seeding areas done. And it's time to get to press the gas on the nitrogen bus. I will be going down with Phoenix. That'll be what I'll be using to get my pounds on the ground, especially early in the fall time period. So I appreciate all the support on both Phoenix as the Workin team, and also on the M Street Elite. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. And yeah, more information coming on more seating, more renovation type stuff. That's what I'm about to be talking about. Those are going to be the special topics, probably from here to who knows when, till the season shuts down. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about seating, because that's where we're at, and I want to make sure that y'all have the information, you're prepared, and y'all get the best start to your 2027 lawn season. Because as we talked about at the beginning, your 2027 lawn season starts now. It does not start next year. It starts now. Get your seed. Oh, and make sure you get your rentals. Go out there and make your rentals. Make your rentals ASAP. If you need to go rent aerators or equipment, any of that type of stuff, go reserve your rentals ASAP, because the landscapers are going to grab them up. Like, go get your, and other homeowners. So go make your, excuse me, man. Go make your reservations for your renovation equipment. You need it. Go ahead, and you know what you're going to need. Start putting that plan together, because it is critical right now to be getting everything together, getting your information, getting your products, getting your seed. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the super chat there, Junkyard Mastery. I love that name. um, um, yeah, I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, your rentals. Make sure you get all of those, because like now you need to put together your plan, right? We're probably in some areas 3 to 4, 5 weeks out right now. You need to start getting your plan together. You need to get a plan together and start buying all of your materials, your reservations. That way, when it's go time, you're ready. You're not scrambling. You got your process laid out, and you know what you're going to do. All right, y'all. I appreciate it. We're going to get ready to get out of here. I'm working on another video for you all that'll probably be dropping sometime over the winter, or over the winter, sometime over the weekend. And Yeah, man, I'm glad to be back. Hopefully I can keep sliding these in here on Thursday, depending on how the home situation works out. And I keep glancing over this way because the baby monitor is over there, and little man was Camden, my oldest, was moving around over here, but he's settled back out and is still sleeping away. So all right, y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. And look out for the video coming up sometime throughout the weekend. All right, as we always say, just know we work.